Think Again TV is produced by Centre for Inquiry, Canada's premier venue for secular humanists, atheists, skeptics, and free thinkers.
Guess you wouldn't want to burn your hair, would you?
You'll see everything about your body. The top part is your mind, the middle part is your emotional, and then the bottom part is your physical, and it represents each part of your body. So when you look at somebody's face, you read what you're liking or disliking about them, but you're not understanding it. So once you do the face reading, you're able to have a better understanding about the person, and more importantly about yourself, what you like or dislike about yourself, what you'd like to change about yourself, or what you would like to enhance. So that's a lot of what the face reading is. A one-day course, you're able to read yourself, and you also are able to read somebody else's face. So you get a really good understanding of what it is about somebody, how they communicate, how they might process their information. And then when you do the full 5-day course, it's a full body energy course, which takes into account the whole body. And from that, you're able to let go of a lot of the issues that are holding your face in certain positions and a lot of the energy that you don't need. So it gives you a really good point of balance. So that's it.
Great. Do you want to tell me a bit about the picture here?
Okay, and these pictures, so what it is here is, this is the person when they first come into the course, and this is as they walk in the door, and then they put the two left sides together, and they do the two right sides together, and they do that so it gives the person a really good idea of how they're holding their energy on both their feminine side and their analytical side, their masculine side. And then after doing the 5-day course, doing the body work, some energy release, they're able to let go of the energy that they're holding on to, which is holding their body in certain positions, and they're able to become more balanced in their life and their decision making and how they move through life. Just a lot of understanding who they are.
So for a quick example, what would this guy's energy be?
So he's very, very masculine. So his masculine side really overrides a lot of his nurturing side in his decision making. He's going to do a lot of basic on his analytical. So take numbers, just look at that part and not take into consideration his feminine side or his nurturing side. And then after he's done the course, he's let go of that and he's able to look at both sides. So he's a lot softer in his decision making. He's not as harsh in how he views the world or himself.
With that, you're going to really, evolve. Creative world only, and you are quite a visionary. You will have ideas which are not here right now.
Right.
So it's your job to bring that reality here. You're very good with people, extremely intelligent, and your brain is very fast. So Alex, do you agree with whatever I said?
Most of it.
Except that I called him handsome. Yeah. You don't agree with that one, right?
Do I show them to you?
No, just pile them on top of the other, stack them. Once you have become the master and you have seen everything, truly you will grow, and that's the crown chakra, the highest chakra, which is very, very important and strong in your...
Right. Can you just introduce yourself?
My name is Patricia Cardona, and I'm a homeopath here with my two colleagues. We've started a network called Homeopathy or Alternative Healing.
So we've been talking a bit about the methods of homeopathy. I mentioned that I'm kind of a bit of a skeptic, science trained and all that, and you were explaining a bit about how it works. I wonder if you can just go over that very briefly about how it originated, some of the tests that were done that sort of proved its efficacy, and how it's evolved since then?
Absolutely. So the founder's name is Samuel Hahnemann. He's a German doctor that realized that at the time conventional medicine was actually more harmful than curative. So he started to do some research on the back then the treatment for malaria, which was chincona, or what we know as quinine, and he wanted to find out what it was about quinine that was actually curing malaria. So he started to do some work by ingesting the quinine himself just to see what would happen, and he started to notice that the symptoms that he was getting were actual symptoms of malaria. They were like identical symptoms. So he wondered if this wasn't just a natural property that somehow like cures like. So when you give somebody a substance, or when you give somebody a treatment that would cause that particular symptom in that person, if they don't have it, that will actually take it away from the person who does. From there, he started to do a little bit more research, and he found that giving the actual physical substance could also have some harmful effects, because if you're giving, let's say, our actual arsenic, or if you're giving actual snake poison to cure somebody with a snake bite, it's going to have some effects. So he started to dilute it a little bit more and a little bit more until it got to the point where it was still having the curative power, but no longer having the symptoms of what the actual physical substance would cause. And along with that, the succussions, which is to like unlock the energy of that substance.
What's succussions again?
The succussion is a very strong shake or a bang, and that sort of unlocks the energy of the substance. So even though the substance is getting less and less in the material sense, it's still dynamized by that succussion, which is what gives it its power.
Right. And you were saying that there have been scientific tests, evidence-based tests, that have compared placebo and untreated people to the homeopathic treatments?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, back during the Spanish flu epidemic, and we have this here if you wanted to take this as well.
Oh, I've got one, yeah.
Oh, okay. They found that hospitals that were treating patients with the Spanish flu using homeopathy had a much, much lower rate or incidence of death than those hospitals that were treating with just plain like the medicines that they had at the time. So
did they control to make sure that the people who were really sick weren't all going to the traditional medicine, and the people who were not as sick were going to the homeopathic
You know what, I don't know.
practitioners?
This was something that occurred a while back. Yourself some symptoms that you're not going to be happy with, but you cannot kill yourself. Like, you cannot poison yourself with homeopathic remedies.
Good to know. Okay, thanks for your time.
You're very
Were you out of a very bad relationship?
Not for a while, no.
Think Again TV is produced by Centre for Inquiry, Canada's premier venue for secular humanists, atheists, skeptics, and free thinkers.
CFI Canada coordinates branches and campus groups across the country, runs a public education series, provides secular community services, incorporates cutting-edge multimedia such as blogs, podcasts, and YouTube, and is a regular voice in the press presenting a secular humanist, atheist, and skeptical perspective.